I'm Lia, I'm Italian, I'm Jewish, and I loved meat.
It's in lasagna, it's in my culture. And it wasn't a little bit, it was a lot. But there was one standout in my family, and that was my older sister. She made the defiant move to become vegetarian in 6th grade. Yeah, I said the V word, But I loved her. But she was preachy, I'm not gonna lie. She was the preachy vegetarian that you see on stage, that you see in the news, that you wish would shut up on streets handing out the pamphlets. But one day I was, eating my normal wings at the restaurant, and she was giving her normal preachy speech, and for the first time in my life, I looked down and they didn't look so appetizing anymore. Don't worry, I still ate the wings, but something switched inside of me that day. I started to do my own research, and I saw animals being abused, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I became vegetarian. But being vegan is a whole other thing. That's where you don't eat dairy, ice cream, milk, eggs, the good things in life. That was stupid, that was extreme, I wasn't going there. I'm vegan now. This happened last year, and it was because I found a random post about a documentary called Cowspiracy, and it showed the ins of the dairy industry. And let's just say they're not treated very well, if I want to put it nicely. That's how my internship with the Humane League started out. It's a nonprofit animal advocacy organization that focuses on the better treatment of farm animals. And I planned the annual gala, which was in December, where lots of Humane League speakers come to speak. And I also was the head and the face of the Subway campaign, which earned more than 50,000 signatures, urging Subway to reform its chicken policies so that they were treated better. And we won that campaign. And I got Rookie of the Year award, so that's pretty cool too at the annual gala. But I know what you're wondering. You're saying, that's nice, Leah, but why do I care? I see all of you all over the media, and we like to make jokes about you, and we've heard it before. We don't care. Okay. But I'll give you 3 reasons to care. The animals, the environment, and you. Please raise your hand if you have a pet. A gerbil, a hamster, a cat, a dog. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you love that pet. That's what I assume. That's why we have pets. So what's the difference? Did you know that most farm animals are as intelligent as a 2 to 3-year-old? That they form relationships just like we do? That they have the ability to feel emotions, that they can feel pain, that there are videos of animals crying in slaughterhouses. This is the reality of factory farming. It's not what a lot of us want to see, it's not what a lot of us want to believe is happening, but that's how animals are being treated. And if you don't want to be treated like that, I don't, so I don't know why anyone else would put beings like that through that. But if we know it's bad, if we know we don't like treating animals like that, then why do we do it? Cognitive dissonance. It's a psychology term my amazing teacher, Dr. Mole, taught me last year in psychology class. When we have 2 sets of beliefs that contradict each other, we have to put one of them aside. We don't want to believe that we're bad people. We want to believe that we're doing the best we can and being the best person. So we push out those other beliefs, we focus on one that means more to us. And a lot of the times, that's that meat tastes good, and that it's a part of our culture, and that we're not the ones that are hurting these animals, so we shouldn't feel responsible for it. And it makes sense. I understand why people feel that way, because that's how I felt too. But it's not just about you. Now, the environment is the second one I want to talk about. That's me in Israel, hiking up a mountain. I love exploring, I love traveling, and I really like the world not being a gray blob and us all dying out and the world exploding, which is what we're headed to with climate change. But a lot of people don't know that factory farming actually has a huge impact. Maybe you don't hear about it in the news. Maybe when you hear about farms, you think of Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Maybe that's what you think about. Maybe you think about green pastures and blue skies and red farms. That's factory farming. That's forests being cut down. That lagoon is waste, animal waste. Number 2 that you go on the toilet, except it's in our environment. Except it runs off into our streams and our rivers and our water supply. They tell you to ride your bike to work. They say, turn your lights off when you leave the house. But they never tell you to stop eating dairy or meat. Because it's a big industry, it makes money. But did you know that methane, one of the leading causes of global warming, temperatures rising on our planet, is because of the animal agriculture industry? Because cows poop a lot, pigs poop a lot, and it has to go somewhere. And the toxins from that go into the atmosphere, and they warm our planet. Now, if you don't care about animals, okay. If you don't care about the environment, okay. But please care about yourself. I'm begging you. Please care about your health. Please care about what you're putting in your body and what you are doing to yourself. Karma. We think of it as, this mystical idea. But this is literal. This is physical. When we are unhappy, when we are happy, when we're excited, when we're in pain, we release hormones, endorphins, into our body. That's why maybe after a run, you got this, yes, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in this one run. We feel motivated. Well, like I said, animals, they have emotions. And when they are scared and when they are upset, they release these endorphins into their body. And we eat them. Now, I can't tell you that after you eat meat, you're going to suddenly feel sad and depressed and stressed out. Because you probably won't unless it's turkey and you want to go to bed. The reality is that further down the line, all of these hormones and endorphins building up in your body, they have bad effects on you. They make you sluggish. And you are what you eat, right? We hear that all the time. When you eat healthy food, you're going to feel better. When you eat Pop-Tarts, you're probably going to feel worse. It's just the reality of the situation. But I also know what you're thinking. No. This is what being vegetarian means, right? This is what being vegan means. You can't eat anything. You got to check the labels all the time, and it's boring. The food is boring. Let me tell you a secret. I don't like salad that much, and let me tell you, maybe once a week I eat it. My mom would probably tell you once a month. So there's alternatives. Okay, I also know what you're thinking. That stuff tastes like rubber, and that stuff tastes like plastic, and how dare you compare that to a nice chicken sandwich? Have you ever tried it? Really, have you ever tried it? It's not that bad. It's actually pretty good, and my meat-eating friends will tell you that they like it. I have friends who still eat meat, and they've switched to dairy-free yogurt because they like it better. What a weird concept, right? The protein issue, let's address that. It is a myth. We actually, in our culture, eating meat all the time, we get too much protein. I used to eat eggs all the time. And when I went to the doctors, my cholesterol, as a 16-year-old, off the charts. My doctor said, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. But suddenly, when you become vegan, they're super worried about every single protein, cholesterol, vitamin that you have. It's not true. These are all plant sources where you can get your protein from. And some of them, per calorie, have more protein than meat. It's not for the people that are extreme. Ellen DeGeneres, A$AP Rocky, Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, Venus Williams, football players. I'm pretty sure they're getting their protein. Venus Williams seems pretty okay to me. The biggest thing I can say is no one is perfect. I messed up. I eat meat sometimes when I'm in foreign countries by accident. If you eat a cupcake one day and you're on a diet, are you going to eat a cupcake every day for the rest of your life because you messed up? No, you're just going to get back on track. And you don't need to become a vegan or a vegetarian. You can maybe, instead of one meal of having fried chicken, try something else. There's a lot of cool foods that don't involve meat that I didn't know about until I went out and I searched for them. And you don't realize how much you're actually eating of it until you start evaluating what you're eating. It makes you appreciate your food more. When you know better, let that be a challenge to do better. Say, I want to be a better version of myself tomorrow than I am today. You're going to mess up. That's the reality of being human. If I believe that kicking someone is bad, and then I kick someone, does it really matter what I believe? If I think killing and abusing animals is bad, but I eat meat, does it really matter what I believe? Your beliefs are only as important as your actions. It's not a one-step journey. It's learning, it's messing up, it's failing, and it's getting right back on the ladder. And that's something that I've had to learn along the way. You make 3 choices every single day at least. You're either hurting the world or you're helping a little bit to save it. You don't need to change the world. You don't need to go to a soup kitchen every day. You just need to pick what's important to you. And you can do that by changing your world, not the world. Thank you.